Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I am going to be going through my planner situation for this upcoming homeschool year. So we're talking 2022-2023 homeschool year. I am simplifying. That's really what I'm going for with this planner situation. So I want to show you inside what I have going on and really what this binder holds. This is one of those Flex Ring 5-star notebooks. And I use it for so many things, you guys. I am really trying to simplify. I have been working this whole summer break to try and simplify things on all levels, like our cleaning routine, our chore routine, my YouTube schedule, and how I am handling all of that, as well as my homeschool planning. I just need to free up some stuff, simplify it so that I'm not spending too much time every weekend doing my homeschool planning. And so I want to show you my plans. And I'm sure you saw from the thumbnail and the title that I am using the new Sonlight Homeschool Planner. And I am combining it with my working binder, which my working binder, I was using this binder for last year, is really where I hold all my instructor guides for my Sonlight programs, which we are using a lot of them this year. So this holds all of that, in addition to some other fun things like meal planning and stuff like that. So I'm going to take you through this planner. I'm going to show you my setup. I'm going to show you how I hope to simplify a bit this year. So if you are at all interested in seeing inside my planner and how I have it all set up to help me out this year, stay tuned. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you are new here, or welcome back if you have been coming for a while. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing inside my homeschool planner how I have it set up, how I'm hopefully going to use it to simplify my homeschool planning and prep every week. So I'm going to flip the camera around to show you all the different sections and things that I have set up and pre-organized to hopefully make my homeschool year a little bit easier. So let's flip around and take a look. Okay guys, so here is my new setup for the new homeschool year. I'm very excited to show it to you. It's not totally done, but it has all of the sections all laid out, as well as the new Sonlight planner already in it. So I'm just going to open it up and get started showing you. So I do have a plan to put our homeschool goals and vision statement on this first page, just to kind of help me out anytime we're having a bad day or anything like that. But I haven't quite discussed that with my husband yet. And this right here is just my calendar. I won't zoom in on this too much, but I always just print out a calendar and then I start to work out the days based on our enrichment school, the days my husband has off, our planned vacations, things like that. And I also added in some planning days this year, which is different and unique for me to have a whole day a month where I dedicate to homeschool planning, which I'm hoping will help me simplify things. So these first couple sections I have up front are the scope and sequence for the language arts for Sonlight for my son and my daughter. I put this here just so that I remember what is being taught, and that way when I am teaching the copy work, and I can also point out some of the concepts that have already been learned and talked about so far this year. And then I also put in these blank pages where I want to kind of keep notes on my kids to say maybe they are struggling with capitalizing or they are struggling with using the comma, and I can kind of make notes where I know they're struggling with it, so that will cue me to point it out to them more, as well as any spelling words that maybe they struggle with when we do copy work, or spelling words that they struggle with when we are doing our Sonlight spelling work. And that way I can keep adding those back on their lists. And this is really just to keep me a little bit more accountable or active in the process, as opposed to just checking boxes, things like that. I want to be a little bit more engaged and aware of where they are specifically. And I feel like I can be a little bit flighty on that, and I don't always remember. So I'm trying out this system where I want to take more notes for myself for my two big kids. And so that's really what I have at the very beginning. And then it gets into the Sonlight Homeschool Planner section. And I have only pulled out July and August because we are starting out our school year here really soon. We're going to be starting on the 14th. So that means the first 6 weeks of school will be in this planner to start with, and then I will switch it out for the next month. But let me go back to where I'm talking about here. So in the Sonlight planner, they have a number of kind of yearly planning pages. Well, this is the year at a glance. And so I'm actually thinking of transferring some of my notes from this calendar here to give me a better visual of everything we have planned and going on. Then it has these big yearly curriculum plans for each of my children, my third grader, my second grader. And what I loved about these is it just lists the different subjects and you put in your plan for curriculum. What I did, it has date and price here, but I didn't use it like that. I want to have a place where I can track progress, basically my expectations for where they're going to be January 1st. And so I also went through all the different curriculum to see how many lessons or weeks there were, and so I can kind of set myself out a pace for us, which is just really helpful. And I mean, the Sonlight stuff is really obvious because it's based on a week system, so 36 weeks. But some of the other stuff like the Danielian handwriting, I needed to look at what we had and figure out that they need to do just about one side of a page per day to get through that resource, or our logic, mind benders, they need to do one a week, things like that. So I was able to work out all the details on this main curriculum plan. And then I also have one for my twins who are 4.5 doing preschool, so their list is a bit shorter. And moving on, there's also a family read aloud list. I think I might use this for our nightly reading because we do extra reading that isn't associated with Sonlight. And that will give me a place to put some of those things, as well as field trips, because I am planning to do one field trip a month, and I'm still kind of working out the details on that, and maybe I will share that in a different video. But I want to be a little bit more intentional with field trips because I just don't do it sometimes. I won't value that as much as I think I should. So I have this spread that will really help me kind of pre-plan that. And then there's this schedule thing, which I'm still working on how to use that. But to move on to July, so I have July and August here, like I said. I love that they have July goals. So I'm still working on this as well as July checklist. So this will be really helpful when I can kind of look through the science experiments that are expected for July and put any of the things I need to pick up from the store, so I can pre-think some of those things, as well as exactly what the field trip is, or if we're doing a nature day with friends or things like that. And then next is the monthly spread, which I will use just for homeschooling. I do have a separate planner for kind of my life stuff, which I currently have an Erin Condren, one of the like soft covers or whatever, and I'm enjoying it, but I don't really think I need all of that, especially since I'm simplifying and combining a lot of things into this binder or homeschool planner. I probably can have an even simpler life planner, but that's a video for another day. So this calendar will only include homeschool stuff. And then it gets into the student schedule. So this is what I will use on the per week basis. And I've already kind of sketched out a little bit of what I'm going to be using these subject boxes for. And there are a number of them, which I really like because that will help me split out my kind of different kids, which is my oldest, my third grader, second grader, and preschoolers will just have the same line. And so I'm still working out exactly how I'm going to set this up. So I do have a video I'm planning on sharing once I understand exactly how I'm going to set this up. But I just wanted to show you there's, I think, 5 weeks of these student schedules, and then followed by a place to keep attendance, which we have to do for our state. So I will be using this to mark down hours and dates and things like that. I also make notes in our instructor guides specifically on when we finish things. So I think I will have myself covered. But some extra stuff that I really like that Sonlight put in their planner was this meal plan list. So I just usually use a notebook to do this, and that's totally fine, but again, I'm trying to simplify. So if I could keep it in one binder, I like that idea. And so it has basically 2 of these spreads. So 4 weeks worth of meal planning and shopping lists, which I think will be enough. I might need a little bit more space, but we'll see. I'll test that out and let you know how it goes in case you are interested. And then the last part of this is some chores and projects around the house, which I have just recently put together some chore graphics and stuff that I put on our fridge, which maybe I'll put up a picture here of how those look because I'm really excited. It's working pretty well. I'm bringing my kids into the chores a little bit more. So I probably won't use this, but I do like this. I like the idea of what projects I'm going to be focused on, and that because I'm hopefully simplifying how much time I'm spending on homeschooling, I will have time to do things that have been on my to-do list around the house for a while. So I really like this section. Usually I don't use this kind of stuff, but I'm looking forward to it in this planner. And then August is exactly the same. So I have these 2 in here, and then when I have my next planning day, I'll take all this out and I'll put in September. And then I will also take out all of the instructor guides I don't need and put in the next set. So let me show you what I have next in here. So this is planning so that I make sure I know what our math assignment's going to be. But this is all our Sonlight instructor's guides. And so I had this as my working binder prior and I really liked it. And that's basically what this middle section is. So it has our map for HBLB and it has the tabs for 1 through 6. So like I said, we're doing 2 weeks in July and 4 weeks in August. And so I put all that we potentially need in there. And these are just our instructor guides. So this is for HBL here. And then I have our Science B for my big kids. And then Language Arts 2 for my son and Language Arts 1 for my daughter, which are a little bit different from what I talked about in our curriculum videos. But when I took the assessment online, I realized that their skill set was a little bit more in these two than it was the ones I was planning. But that's okay. I'd rather meet them where they are than stay at a specific grade level. So anyway, that is how these are set up. So weeks 1 through 6 for my big kids. But then you can see I have a whole nother set of tabs, which I just didn't have the first couple weeks. So ignore the 36 there. But these are the IGs for my preschoolers. And I actually just have 2 weeks in each tab because they're on the older side for the level T or preschool program, and we've also done the first number of weeks. And so I don't want to miss the books, but I think they're probably a little bit more in the level of the preschool level at 4.5, almost 5. But we just want to read all the books. So we're going to read the books for level T first before I bring in level P for them. But this is the first 6 weeks for them. And then next, I have some things that I think it's really clever, or at least it'll be really helpful. So what I did is I cut out all the timeline figures and I put them in little baggies. I didn't label the baggies because I'll just reuse them. So this is just 1 week's worth of timeline figures, and that way it's already cut up, it's already ready, and I'm not looking through all my stuff. And so I'm happy that I decided to do that, and that's another thing I'll do on those planning days. And then this last tab has all of our Science B activity sheets, as well as the sheets I need for all of their experiments. So basically, it includes everything I will need for those first 6 weeks. And now if we're talking something more individual, like their language arts worksheets, those are going to be going in their own binder. I actually got a couple of flex binders for my 2 big kids, and I'm just going to preload all of their activity sheets for the first 6 weeks for all the subjects they have worksheets. That's my current plan, to keep it simple so I don't have to do things on the weekends. But this is how my new homeschool planner / working binder / meal chart / chore chart system is set up for this year. It is not too big. I feel like during the school day, I'm carrying this around everywhere, or at least that's what I did last year, is I would just flip it open to whatever page we were working on or whatever week we were working on, and I would just carry this with me and I would mark it off as we went. I would just have a pencil with me that day and I'd write the date based on what we did for that day. And it worked really well. It's a very small, compact sort of thing. So when we move to the couch for couch subjects, or when we're working in the schoolroom and doing some math, I have it all right here. And last year I worked out of 2 things. I worked out of the Mardell homeschool planner, which I still do recommend. I really did enjoy that. But I like the fact that it's almost like I took a part of that planner and just stuck it in here in a small way so that I could keep 2 things in one. I'm rambling at this point, but I am really excited to try this out. I think it will really help me. It'll keep everything in one spot, and hopefully it will minimize the amount of planning I have to do for this upcoming school year. So that is what I had to show you inside my new Sonlight Homeschool Planner / working binder. So let's flip the camera back around and I will end the video. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it was helpful to kind of see how I am using the new Sonlight Planner, as well as how I'm fitting in all of my instructor's guides and all the extras. And yeah, I am so excited to give this a shot. I think this will really help out. I might make another video where I chat more about how I do specific planning days, because that is definitely what I had in mind when I kind of designed and constructed how I set up this binder, was that I'm going to have monthly planning days where I like ship the kids to my in-laws and I set up the next month. So if you are at all interested in that type of a video where I share more of my planning days and what I do on those days and what I set up, let me know down below. I think it'll really work out for this year, or at least I hope so. That's my plan. So I will try my best at that. But otherwise, that is what I have for this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of the new Sonlight planner and my plans for how I'm going to use it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next homeschool video. All right, take care, guys.